And we're back with some more oxygen not included. First up today, it's going to be, yes, I'm doubly, triply blind. I also missed out on another geyser down here. This was pointed out to me in the comments by several people. Yep, somehow I found that one, but just completely blanked that there was one here, and it's a gold volcano, which is, yeah, that's great for us. We're going to throw that another gold volcano tamer on that, but maybe not just today. Reason being, there's other stuff we want to get done. Up here, let's see, we've got most of this set up and running. What I've got is coal in this. I have iron ore in that, or iron in that, I should say, and then lime in the last one, so that we can get around to doing all of our lovely, lovely steel. So let's, you know what? Let's just queue up 100 of those, or 99? Yeah, 99 I think is what you do. Once you have 99 of those done through, we should be able to churn out an awful amount of steel and start filling this place up with steam. A few questions were, why have I not vacuumed this out left, and why have I left the oxygen in? Well, laziness, I suppose. One of the reasons I'm doing this is I need some sort of medium to transfer temperature with. And before, I used to just work in a vacuum and just have the pipes go through a lot of water as best as I possibly could. In this instance, I think I'm just not going to care. In this instance, all I'm going to do is let the oxygen help transfer some of that heat. What's in the pipes? Yeah, pipes have not overheated. Yeah, perfect. That's fine. We should be able to start boiling that water soon enough. Another thing I realized is I'm probably going to need another rancher. Just looking around, we're running 6, 7, 8 ranches at the moment. We can definitely handle that, but if I want to start doing mass poke shells, we're going to probably need a 4th rancher. Pity, we had a perfect candidate there a while ago, and I let them pass me by because I didn't think we needed one. Oh well. We've got ourselves a new blueprint choice. Please give us a +7. Nope, I was hoping for a +7 rancher. Now that I've changed my mind on that, of course. Though we do have a choice between +7 agriculture, a triophobic who can't dig, and a mouth breather. So I think we'll just take the omelets. Yeah, we'll throw the omelets somewhere. I'm sure we'll find some food for that. Calorie-wise, yeah, I think we've started to even out, though I think I'm definitely going to hire, yeah, just one more pawn at least. Probably a rancher. You know what, let's stick in some preemptive extra bedrooms, shall we? New bedrooms done. Oh, and while we're at it, I might want to start thinking about doing decor. We've kind of got the base sealed up, so putting in massive amounts of decor and decor bombing might be an idea. So suits first, I suppose. Yeah, a couple of snazzy suits should help sort us out, and we definitely have plenty of reed fiber running around the place. Now, down here was where we used to have our old steel refinement. I have ripped that out. The refinery's gone because, well, we didn't need it anymore. All our steel refinement is going to go on over here, which should slowly but surely... Whoa! How is there water there? How is that visible? Huh. That is... some of the water turned... Oh, yeah. When there's liquids on top of airflow tiles, there's some weird glitch and you can't really see them. However, if there's a liquid on top of an airflow tile and then there's another liquid on top of that, then the bottom layer becomes visible. So there's actually a layer of water right here. Right there. And because of that layer of water, we can now see the saltwater layer. That saltwater layer has been there for a while. It's only visible now. That's kind of cool, actually. What happened was some of the salt water evaporated, immediately hit the temperature shift plate tiles above it, and then turned right back into water. Temperature overlay. Yep, that seems to be working. We appear to be generating a little bit of heat in that corner. Oh, there it goes. Perfect. How much salt we're going to have? Wow. The salt water is literally just... It couldn't move back in there again. Ah! Okay. Turns out we need some more... Turns out we need to empty out the toilets. We'll take care of that just right now. There we go. Problem solved. Toilets are all back up and running, which reminds me, I want to change the save frequency on this. If you haven't found this yet, under the game section, you can change the save frequency. I've changed it to every 5 cycles. I find that should be just about fine. Though I do get the occasional crash, I'm willing to live with the loss of a few cycles, but it's better than the constant saving every cycle. How much... Do we need more salt water, I suppose, is the question. I need to know exactly how much pressure to put in here. And we're in a sort of a weird scenario here. For example, you'll notice that there's water down here on these levels. What's happening is the water up here is evaporating, turning to steam, passing through the airflow tiles, and then after passing through the airflow tiles, it hits the temperature shift plates, and then the steam turns back into water. But I need some way of distributing that heat back up there, so I might want to start putting in water pumps, or liquid pumps, just to start pumping the water back up to the top so that it can continue to be used to dissipate the heat. This is maybe why I should have vacuumed it out, but if I had vacuumed it out, I probably would have ended up boiling the crude oil in the pipes a while back just from not paying attention so much. Let's do a few minor modifications, shall we? Right, that is a very, very simple solution. All that happens is any of the water that evaporates up here, if it does end up chilling down here and turning into water on the lower floors, we just pump it right back up to the top where it can get evaporated again. I might want to start dumping in more water as well. Let's try to throw to the gas overlay. Okay, so the light blue is steam and the white stuff is oxygen. So this area is kind of getting steamy, but it hasn't quite spread. And if we check the temperature overlay, yeah, this is why I hate the temperature overlay. It doesn't really tell you that much. You can kind of see the temperature gradient there, but it's not exactly... Once you go above about 60 degrees, it just, everything turns red. Actually, let's find it. Where is it? Yeah, there's 77. It just turns to a red color, and then you've no idea how hot it is. I mean, if we go over to our volcano over here, like, yes, it's red, but you have no idea what... pointlessness. There is a good mod, though, for that one. I'm not running that at the moment. I'm trying to keep my game as stable as possible, because we still do get the occasional crash. But that is taking way, way, way too long to heat up this whole area. So maybe let's speed this along a little bit, shall we? We'll just stick in a second refinery here. And we'll top that up with some petroleum, and we'll just start running double steel. Reason being is we've got a lot of lime we got to get through, and we got a large industrial sauna we got to heat up. At the same time, a couple of things to take care of about this point in the game, or otherwise you'll forget them later, is change all your liquid bridges to obsidian. The reason being it's got the highest melting point of any of the bridges you can use. So, yeah, and you don't have to worry about temperature transfer with these. There's no possibility of temperature transfer on a bridge. It can only happen for the piping, so bridges just magically teleport stuff. And what'll happen is you'll get to, say, a later point in the game where you're dealing with rockets or something like that, and you'll make the silly mistake of building something out of not obsidian, like bridges out of sandstone or something like that, because you don't think about it. And next thing you know, you've got melted bridges and oxygen, liquid oxygen's flowing all over the place. It's a mess. So change everything over to obsidian bridges early on. Save yourself the hassle, assuming your map has got plenty of obsidian on it. Now, that's done. Let's just set this up to, say, iron to steel forever. Oop, I think there's one thing we've missed, though, there. Where is it? You need to get powered. That should help speed up this whole place turning into a sauna. Let's fast forward this a bit and see what happens. Niho Barracuda pointed out in the comments, I had my temperature shift plates touching the igneous rock insulated tiles, or the insulated tiles around the edges. This is a bad idea. Temperature shift plates will quite happily inject temperature into insulated tiles. Insulated tiles doesn't prevent that from happening. So you're better off not doing that. I'm going to remove all the temperature shift plates around the edge to prevent that from happening, or it will reduce the temperature transfer across. It's just one of those best practices things you should do to make sure you're not wasting heat or dumping heat into places you shouldn't. At the same time, I'm going to make sure I get a ring of temperature shift plates here to dump heat into the crude oil. This crude oil here, I don't care if it gets hot. In fact, I kind of want it to get hot. Otherwise, anytime the steam touches it, it will liquefy. Now, with both of those running flat out, how's the petroleum coming back? Yeah, that isn't even coming close to boiling. We've got plenty of temperature transfer going on. I might want to dump in a bit more water, though, in a while. If we check the gas overlay... yeah, there's not enough steam pressure. I'm definitely thinking we're going to need a bit more water in there before we call this done. So let's just start dumping that in now. Might as well. Oh, more printables are available. We've got no one I care about. I just want another rancher. We're going sort of insanely ranching heavy this round. Maybe we should make that one of the themes as well. Lots and lots of ranching. While this is all going on, I think the next idea would be to grab one of these volcanoes, or maybe a few of these volcanoes, and start tacking magma tanks onto them so we can start preparing for, well, geothermal power. We're going to want an awful lot of magma stored up so we can start switching when we switch them on, so that they have a little bit of run to them. Let me do some scouting on that front. All right, after a little bit of thinking, and okay, I had to go back through my old videos to figure out how I did volcanic steam power before, because my memory is terrible. I decided that this looks like an absolutely excellent place because we have two volcanoes right beside each other. There's a minor volcano and a big volcano. So we got about 5 steam turbines up to the both of those combined. So I'm thinking we dig a pit here for the magma, and then we sort of double insulate this. If we double insulate this tiles here, the heat will never transfer across. If you have 2 sets of insulated tiles touching, the heat transfer is just... It's so close to vacuum, it's ludicrous. At that point, we can just put a giant tank of magma here as a catchment area for both of these, and then, throw in our nice volcanic steam turbine set up in here. And then once we've got 5 of those running, we should have enough power that, you know, well, at the same time, we should have enough steam got in here, enough steel collected. How much steel? We got 9 tons of steel. I think it's time we started throwing some batteries onto this grid to help keep things going. There's plenty of things we can do once that happens. So let's maybe skip this forward while we get this done. At the same time, I'm trying to insulate in across the top here. I want to make sure that these steam turbines stay cool for now because I haven't started cooling these actively. But once we do start actively cooling those, we're going to want to make sure that none of this volcanic stuff gets in there. You know what? Let's stick ourselves in a thermal aquatuner. Where are we going to put it, though? Do we stick it right on top of the radiant pipes that are going to have boiling hot oil coming out of them? You know what? Give it a shot. Why not? Okay, I may not have done this quite perfectly. I maybe should have planned ahead a little bit better. Okay, definitely should have always planned ahead a bit better. This is going to be our aquatuner over here. It's going to provide a cooling loop that goes around the top and cools down all these steam turbines. Yeah, we'll just connect those 2 up there now and cancel any overrides that might have happened. Or I realized I have to put in a liquid reservoir to help even out the contents. Plus, we'd need a little bit of extra polluted water. That reminds me, we also need some polluted water to fill up this loop with, because polluted water is the best coolant to use due to its larger temperature range. So we're going to need to get our hands on some of that. Thankfully, we have a big stockpile of it over here. So yeah, we've definitely got bottles of that we can dump into it as needs be. It'll be germy polluted water, but doesn't matter for a cooling loop. The only downside is I'm going to have to slightly chicane around this now. So we're going to have to put in a ladder here, and that's just going to mess with my sense of normality. That shouldn't look like that. But whatever, it'll be a little bit ugly, but I'll be able to live with it. Or what the hell? How is that overheating already? 79.2 degrees. Buggery. Yeah, the heat from this volcano has been leaking everywhere. That's why this whole area is so hot. You know what? We'll deconstruct you. We'll make you out of steel. That's probably the simplest solution to that. Thank God we've got so much steel. We've got 16 tons of steel already. We'll insulate that up. I'll have to live with the annoyance of that being a horrible temperature. And down here, I'm just coring out a nice big area. I think we'll put the magma tank, say, about here. Should be of sufficient size. You know what? I'm not even going to go too crazy about it. I might keep that ladder system up the middle and maybe just... No. Let's get this nice and consistent. And oh my God, I made an aquatuner out of iron ore. Yep. It may be a Wednesday, but it feels like a Monday. I'll replace that with a steel one right now. With that underway... Oh, yeah, I turned this back on to let in some more water. I'm trying to pressurize this entire area. At the same time, time to start getting rid of some of this nasty oxygen that's in here. We've got enough steam. I want to get this up to about 20 kilos of steam pressure per tile. No particular reason for 20 kilos. I think that was what I had it at last time, so I'm going to aim for about the same. I'm presuming that I had some thought process behind that last time, or it just worked. It was the same as this insulated gas pipes. Yeah, we are going to get a gas filter. I just decided to make something out of iron ore inside an industrial sauna. Yep. Definitely have my Monday brain on. Yeah, we are going to use a gas pump here, and we're going to try and filter out the oxygen and just dump it out of this system. So the idea here is pretty simple. Gas pump dumps whatever's in the system into here, the gas filter. Any steam will get sent out back into the room. That's right, it's 20 kilos. Yeah, I couldn't get above 20 kilos with the pressure. Never mind. The oxygen gets sucked out and dumped outside of the room. And that should slowly filter out all the oxygen at the top of the map. Or top of the sauna. Over here, we're going to dump polluted water into this liquid pump. That liquid pump is going to dump it onto our cooling loop. And our cooling loop is going to dump it through the aquatuner. We're going to set the temperature in this. If the temperature is above 1 degree, you should turn on and chill the liquid going through it. So it's chilling the liquid down. It's coming in at 43, going out at 31. Perfect. And then we'll just keep dumping that on. And as that, we're not going to bridge this on. Normally you would like to bridge on cooling loops, but this cooling loop has a liquid tank built into it, so we can afford to overstock it. We want to even out the flow. It gives us better control. Okay, we'll let that run for a while and fill up with some polluted water. In the meantime, and so that should take care of itself. The oxygen in here should all get filtered out. Steel-wise, we're looking at 19 tons. Yes, that is what I like to see. Oxygen-wise, that is slowly but surely getting filtered out. Yeah, I should... you know what? we are going to dump the oxygen all the way over there instead. I'm dumping the oxygen off too close. It's just getting sucked right back into the gas pump. I mean, I'm dumping the steam off way too close. We'll dump the steam off over here and it should help force the last of that oxygen over. Nice. What are the crude oils looking at? Yeah, you know what? We're almost ready to start hooking up the steam turbines. I have preemptively put in liquid bridges here so we can vent the steam turbines back down again. Though we're going to want to put in some automation to make sure that... I'd like the temperature here to stay about 150 degrees at all times. Though, ooh. I just realized I might want to turn this one on a little bit sooner. Yeah, this is going to get really hot over here very quickly. Aquatuners generate a lot of heat. So, yeah. Now I remember why I vacuumed out these areas beforehand. The oxygen up here is all the way along the top, so none of the steam turbines can activate until I get rid of all the oxygen. Well, let's just do what we normally do when problems like this happen and just throw an awful lot of power at it. That's the usual solution. We just threw in more gas pumps, more filtration, more everything, and we can more quickly and more efficiently remove all of the oxygen from the top of the map. So the steam is getting a little overpressurized. That's fine. We can sort that out. You know what? Now that we've got so many of these in place, we can stick a few additional vents around the place. Yeah, actually, that seems like a smarter plan entirely. We can just get rid of that and get rid of that. Boom. Perfect. Okay, this one's still a little bit overpressurized, but we should hopefully have this up and running shortly. At the same time, this is turning on occasionally to do a bit of chill in, which is fine. I've set it to only turn on once it hits above 150, and the rest of the steam turbines have been left off. We'll also see steel production for now. I'm just letting the whole sauna just stabilize. The whole thing should be pretty fine, actually. Same point, I might want to empty that water pipe. I'm worried that water is going to start flashing in the pipes, so maybe get rid of that liquid bridge. And then we'll reconnect that and drain out the piping. With all of that emptied in there, I mean, it's not going to last. There's so much heat in there at this point. How much steel did we process? I have no idea for sure, but we've went through over 1.5 tons of lime, so a lot of steel. It took a lot of heat to bring this up to operating temperature. At the same time, the cooling loop has kicked in at the top, and we now have some nice chilly steam turbines. Perfect. Now that that's mostly taken care of for now, I'm going to wait until we've got rid of all the oxygen. We'll put in some automation and a few bits and bobs and start the whole thing up for sure. For now, I want to put in a magma tank right about here and start stockpiling this stuff. The sooner we get around to that, the better. Plan is fairly simple. We're going to have the magma from here and here pour into this central tank. Then it's going to be walled into here, so the magma should just fill up this area. I'll probably have to break a tile open under here to get to feed into our steam turbine setup. But we'll worry about that in a minute. What I'm more concerned about is this is an awful lot of hot rocks to leave lying around the place. So we're going to do what we did in the last setup. We're going to do a sweep all for granite, igneous rock, and obsidian. Oh, and abyssalite as well, don't we? And there we go, abyssalite. We put that on level 9, and we put that to sweep only and copy to those two places. Then we're going to make sure there's nowhere else that wants to use that. Yeah, we don't want you holding stuff anymore. You can be gone. That means all of it should get swept up in there when the time comes in. Oh my god, they're trapped. Yeah, can you build your way out, boys? Good job. Oh, printables. I forgot something. I'm actually tempted by Nisbet over there, but you know what? Family seed. Oh, yeah, and we're getting warnings for these broken checkpoints down here that I can't get rid of. Whatever, we'll have to live with it for now. Where were we? Ah, yes, we were up here, and we're going to dig this out, and then we're going to sweep up all the hot rocks and dump them into our industrial sauna to dispose of them. This is going to be an ongoing theme. You know what? Let's make a few copies of this as well, just in case you don't ever want it getting overwhelmed. Now you'll notice this is a sweep-only section. The reason being, we're going to strategically mine out the area and sweep out the bits we want. We don't want all of our igneous rock and stuff ending up there. We just want the strategic bits. Those two can go there, and we'll make sure there's an exit out for our dupes at the other side. We're still not quite finished on how this is going to work. Let's mine out the rest of this stuff. There we go. That's starting to look more and more like, well, a volcanic storage pit. I've left one tile just in to make sure that they don't erupt. I'm getting less and less nervous about doing that. I always worry that, yeah, I've made a mistake and it's suddenly going to start erupting everywhere, but it seems to work. Oh, and while all that was going on, I forgot. A bunch of my pawns have finished their training a long time ago, and I've been leaving them in here. So, time to go and skill scrub a few people. Where the hell did I place the skill scrubber? Wait, it's over here. First up, who was complete? Yeah, we've got Derek. Derek has now finished all their training. They can become maximum Derek. Well, once we've got them scrubbed. While Derek is getting their brains scrambled, we can check on the steam turbine room or the sauna, which is completely oxygen free. There is 6 kilos of carbon dioxide down at the bottom, which we don't care about. That works for me. So let's put those there and there and copy them across. Hey, boom, that means we can get rid of all of these gas vents or gas pumps, and we can strip out all of that. That was actually relatively painless. Maybe don't strip out the oxygen. Okay, it's an annoyance at the end, but now that we've got all of that done, yeah, we can just start hooking up the steam turbines. Right, this is just about ready for full-on activation, but at the same point, so is the magma harvesting. I do sort of want to get this magma start collecting it now. The sooner you get around to start collecting it, the faster you can get things up and running. So I'm thinking, yeah, gas pumps. We need gas pumps in here because the only way to deal with magma is if it's in a complete vacuum. Let's not faff about. Just stick in 4 gas pumps, I suppose, should drain most of it out pretty fast. There we go. Quick, brutally efficient. Now, power. We need to bring in something to power all of that, and unfortunately I've got all this heavy watt wire. You know what we could do? We could start running it off the main spine. If we just extend this on a little bit, strategically delete a little bit there. There. This power spine just extends, it goes up here, we plug it into a transformer, and then that transformer is going to run a cable all the way over to our gas pumps. I'd rather do it that way than just set up a second coal generator array over there. I don't know if that's faster, but at the same time it does connect these steam turbines into these down here. Which means we should probably go around putting in our battery banks down here. I think we've got more than enough power, or more than enough steel. I think we do. We could use... Oh, you can't really use jumbo batteries for this, or can you? Well, you can, but they lose more power. I think you're almost better off using steel. You know... Wait, let me think about this for a second. Comparing the two batteries, the normal reason you would use smart batteries is they have far less power runoff. So for each... smart battery versus jumbo battery. The jumbo battery loses 5 times as much power for having them sitting around the place doing nothing. It's just the power bleed. However, in this instance, we don't really care too much. We're going to be running a lot of geothermal, so we're not going to have power on demand. We're going to have power just turning on constantly. We're just going to be burning off the geothermal. It's not going to be an on-demand system. So let's just stick in... Yeah, a load of jumbo batteries. I've never tried this before, but let's see if it works. And I think we can get rid of that liquid pump now. This whole system is nicely... I just realized once I do put in those jumbo batteries, they're probably going to cause the system to maybe have a little bit of a problem. Reason being, they're going to come in at 40C and they're going to cause some of that water to immediately condense. But then they'll get warm and they'll heat the whole place up again. So let's just stick in a bunch more of them. I think that is about the right amount of batteries. They'll have to get filled by the coal generators for now, but at least they'll give us a little bit of a backup. Jesus. I'd forgotten how much I love the power saunas. Anyway, over here, yep, gas is getting vacuumed out. Once that's done, we can rip out the bits and turn on the volcanoes. Oh, and we can turn these off for now. The reason we don't want these active now is we've gotten rid of all the hot rocks. We don't need to scoop out any more. One last layer of insulation here. Oh, maybe not quite so extreme. And there we go. Oh, I'm going to have to insulate this side as well, aren't I? I like my double layers of insulation when it comes to volcanoes. I've had too many, well, horrific accidents in the past is probably the best description of what's happened when I've been dealing with volcanoes. Ooh, and while all of that has been going on, I have skill scrubbed all the dupes. So Derek here, straight into super hard digging. We'll probably put them into mechatronics engineering in the end as well. But yeah, we needed a third digger. It was not that it was taking too long. It was just, it's nice to have 3. 3 on the team will be a good choice. Bomba John over here. They are, I think they're our next, straight into husbandry, was it? No, wait. Bomba John is going straight into mechatronics engineering with a +1 in hard digging. John Wheaton, same thing. And Val, well, okay, I couldn't afford the hard digging, but I will get them into hard digging once they get 1 more point. The reason for so many mechatronics engineers is they're really just build diggers. but they can build all the conveyor rails, steam turbines, all of the fancy stuff as well. And they'll spend some time working on the machines, but with so many of them, they'll be spending, anytime they're not operating machines, they'll be spending all of their time building and digging. It just means the majority of my force that is not ranchers are cooking, will just be spending all of their time doing building and digging. It's how I like it. Oh, and that reminds me, there's one last thing I have to do. I have to lock them out of a few areas, but Derek is now going to be called Maximum Derek, because he's now skilled up and can do his job. I'll also have to do a little bit of tweaking with the ins and outs of the doorways here. All of that done. All of our vacuuming is complete also. Let's tidy this sucker up and open up the volcanoes for business. Before I turn this on, I have, of course, forgotten to put in the dripper. We need some way to siphon it out, and I've already made the vacuum. I am not risking breaking that. I think I'll do this from the inside, maybe? Yeah, I'll brick it up some more, and then I'll do this all from the inside. Then we'll open up the volcanoes. Wow, I'd really forgotten how to put together one of these. I kind of have to go back through my old video. I think I'm going to have to load up an old save to figure out how I made these. It's kind of mad how you forget how things are done if you've gone away from long enough. I'll skip this forward a bit while I try and remember all the printables. Let's see what we got. You know what? I'm still just holding out for another rancher. I don't think we really need any more dupes just yet, especially with food. Food is... Actually, no, our food's going okay. We could probably hire another person, but I want an even 16. Let me finish this up. Would you look at that? Frankie. Mole hands, early bird, biohazardous. I don't care about biohazardous, especially in this map. I think we've killed most of the germs. +7 animal husbandry. Welcome to the team. We are going to have a stupid amount of critters on this map. Right, I'm still trying to get all of this done. Oh, I forgot to put in the automation, didn't I? All right, automation all in play. I'll link a tutorial up in the top right. I'll try and remember this time. I'm terrible about remembering these things. To this volcano one, I think, what's it called? Volcanic Steam Power Tutorial Nuggets. So just look in the Tutorial Nuggets playlist and there's a Volcanic Steam Power guide, which is where this is covered. This is, though I've never really built one from the inside before. This has been an interesting experience trying to do this from inside a vacuum. But it seems to be working out. We're going to fill this up with about a ton of water, so 3 more loads. Once we've got about a ton of water in here, we're going to brick this up. And then we're going to finish off this design. Right, we've got all of that infrastructure in place. The automation's in place. I've double-checked. The power, I'm going to power it from over here where I'm going to put in the steam turbines. We're going to put in the steam turbines across there. But for the time being, we're going to leave this off and in vacuum. But that does mean we can start letting in the magma at bloody time. So once the magma starts pouring in here, we can start filling up the tank. I may have made it too big, but I don't care. We'll grab you and grab you, and they'll get dumped into the storage containers there. Right, now that all of that is done, and yes, I know I'm gloriously behind schedule. Of course I am. I never seem to have enough time now that we're all trapped indoors. And let's see, we need to put in some steam turbines here to tap into this heat source that we're going to be pouring down into this section. I was finding it hard to squeeze it in quite as it was in my original design, but we're just going to have sort of a heat tunnel come down through here. It should work. You know what, we'll use diamond just to be absolutely safe. And that should help the heat flow one way or the other. I'll put in a couple of extra pieces around here. This will probably work, though. I'm going to need to vacuum this out and fill it with water. That shouldn't be too difficult, though, to arrange. Ooh, magma's falling. Yes. Oh, I forgot to analyze them. You know what, we'll analyze that one at least. I don't really care about analyzing, but it probably should. Someone might get a little bit toasty analyzing that. Yeah, maybe I should have been more careful about that. Anyway, we'll let Chidi analyze that one. We'll cancel the analysis on that just for now. Maybe I'll micromanage some of that in a little bit. But for the time being, yes, we are getting this up and running. Though I do want to do a little liquid lock here, just until we've finished getting this sorted. This is going to be a rather messy liquid lock. What we're going to do is we're going to put a blob of crude oil there. All we need is a tiny bit. You know what? We'll let that run maybe one more tick is enough. Then we'll stop all of that and deconstruct it. We don't want it anymore. And then mop up the mess we made. Oh, and it drops them into the ethanol. You know what? It's fine. We got rid of a bunch of it. It's all good. Then we'll just finish off our little liquid lock here. It should only take a second. And once we do, we can get in there with a little drop liquid lock. By walling in across the top here, we forced out everything except the liquids. So there's just a liquid blob there. Then all we do is we deconstruct that, and that. And that should allow our dupes to get in there, and it will also act as a perfect gas seal. They're not perfect. Well, that's the wrong description. It will work. It's just, I wouldn't rely on them for thousands of cycles. For a bit of brief work, we can totally get away with it. But for long-term stuff, I would definitely not depend on them. They just have a tendency to occasionally crack open. Anyway, let's vacuum this sucker out. Right, well, that is going on. We're going to build in the power spine there. Oh my god. I'd forgotten how ridiculous it was hooking power up to these magma volcanoes. It just takes so much time and effort. It's why crude oil is just so much more convenient. But hey, we've made a commitment to geothermal, and we are going to make sure we go complete full geothermal. We're also going to try and do a regolith melter at the end of this. I want to get some regolith melting going on. I've never built one of those, and it would be nice to give it a shot, considering how much time and effort I've put into this game. Not building a regolith melter seems like that'd be almost cheating at that point. How's that looking at? That liquid lock is holding up absolutely perfect, and yeah, we're stripping everything. Like it's 2 kilos of pressure on one side, and it's less than a gram on the other. Right, that's going to be done there. That's going to be plugged into the power grid. Ah, yes, that was it. We need to put in a cooling solution over here. So that requires aquatuner. All right, system vacuumed out. We haven't filled it with polluted water just yet. I've also stuck on a joint plate here where I'm going to run this directly off the mains. Why not? We've got the metals to do it, so we're just creating a little vacuum seal here to prevent any of the heat escaping out. Oh, that's what I forgot. I forgot to put water in here. That would be very important now, wouldn't it? I'm going to use salt water because, well, okay, I won't really mind too much that there'll be a little bit of salt particles left over in here. Worst case scenario, I can always break it open at some point and remove them if it really bothers me that much. One of the annoying things I had to do, though, was I had to put in these diamond tiles in between the temperature shift plates to make sure the temperature gets from up there down to here. Hopefully that will work. That's kind of... I'm not sure exactly how well this is going to work, to be honest, based on how the temperature is going to have to transfer down. But I figure once it all starts flashing to steam, it should stabilize out quite nicely. Oh, come on. Let me mop that up. We managed to mop some of the magma, but we didn't get all of it. Hopefully that won't boil our person. I think it will, though. Damn it. Yeah, that's going to hurt Cheaty. Come on, you're toasty, but it's not that bad yet. Are you actually taking any damage? Okay, they didn't take any damage. We'll call that a win. Anyway, I think we're just about finished. Time to deconstruct these. We're going to seal it up now. We don't have enough magma to really run this. But we will maybe boil some of the water and see if the system... Well, we'll get the basics of it started. Oh, and we better prime the cooling loop as well here for the steam turbines. Yeah, no, we should be able to get a little bit of a run on it before we end for the day. Cheaty is almost finished with that. And, we're going to dump some of that magma over onto over down here. I still love the way you can do that. Oh, excellent. We did actually analyze it. Cheaty got a bit of heat stroke. I sent him back to rest. He came back again. He's now finally all done. Oh, perfect. With that done, I think we can seal this sucker up and we shouldn't have to come back in here again. This system is just about ready to go. Only thing we're missing is some polluted water. For this particular system, I'm not even bothered to put on a liquid tank at the end. I think we're just going to barely fill the loop and be done with it. So about 400 kilos should set us up on this front. Then we're going to, well, we won't be able to get this running. We don't have enough magma yet. It's going to take about, well, 50 or 60 cycles or so for this to get up and running to where we'd like it. There's our cooling loop looking. Yeah, there we go. That's going to set it for the whole area to cool this the steam turbines down to about 10C. Yeah, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I'm going to need 3 loads for that. You know what? That worked out almost perfectly. 300 kilos, just about dandy. And what's the temperatures at? And everything's nice and chill. Perfect. That worked out disturbingly well and rather quickly. Let's demolish some of this old stuff. Actually, you know what? Let's turn the system on, shall we? Well, we're not going to turn it on. I want to prep this. This here is sort of like the heat section. What we do is we heat this up to about 500C, and then the temperature is dumped across in here to, well, to something more reasonable, say about 120. But for the time being, I'll say we'll turn this off. We'll put this to below for the time being, just to disengage the heat transfer. And let's see what happens if we put this to, say we want 250C. Oh, if the temperature is below 250C. All that's happening here is this door opens for a split second, drops down some magma. That magma solidifies because it's coming in contact with that temperature shift plate. And then it turns into igneous rock, which gets swallowed by the door. And would you look at that, we've already turned the water into steam. What's that set to, 250? That's all we do. We just slowly but surely chew down on the magma. Loop. that won't happen constantly all the time. We'll keep doing that until the system comes up to speed. However, we're going to need a lot more magma in here before we turn on the rest of the system. I know that's a bit of a tease, but unfortunately, when you're dealing with geothermal, it does take a long time to spin those suckers up. In the meantime, it's time to get this up and running. Well, you know what? I've already gone way over budget on time and everything. We'll have to cut this out here. I think next up, it's going to be setting up the automation on this so the steam turbines turn on and off as needs be. We should hopefully get enough. Well, we'll definitely have enough magma by the end of the next episode to turn that on full power, and we should have those steam turbines rocking out. Oh, I should. No. I was going to think about hooking up energy tune-ups to these so that you could get more power out of them, but no. We have so many we have so many volcanoes on the map. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered wasting the iron. One sort of side project I want to do is turn all the iron on the map into steel. I just want to farm an absolutely ludicrous amount of lime. Reason being, people always ask, how do you get lime? And I want to see if we can really turn poke shells into the mass production of lime. Like, just absolutely excessive. Oh, and we also want to tap into this other gold volcano down here so we can get even more gold going on. And there's 2 more volcanoes up here. There's one right there, though I don't know if that exists or it got swallowed by being so close to the edge of the map. And there's one right there, which I'm pretty sure exists. So we'll grab 2 of those and we can make another geothermal generator over that side. With all of those going on, we should have plenty of power to guide us into the mid-game. Apologies for how inconsistent my schedule is at the moment. I try and release at 4:30 every day, but it never works out. It's just trying to do 7 videos a week, one a day is just, it takes a little time. My time management skills may not quite be up to the task. Between, just everything, it's a little bit tricky. I'll get better though. I'll get better. I just need to manage my time a little bit better, and I'm sure I can get it out on time. In the meantime, I apologize for the inconsistency, but I just want to get as much out as I can during the quarantine stages. I don't know about you guys, but being cooped up all the time does drive me a little bit crazy, and having this project to do does kind of help out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.